I was given 3 rules for welcoming you here. First of all, that for you to see me, I have to stand up. For you to hear me, I have to speak up. And for you to really appreciate what I have said, I have to sit down very quickly. Thank you very much, our distinguished clients, ladies and gentlemen, for accepting our invitation to be here this evening, to interact with us, our partners here in KPMG in East Africa, as well as members of our Africa board who are visiting and meeting here. Normally we try and find our meeting venues around the continent, Johannesburg, Accra, Nairobi, so that we make sure that we cover this continent. Because it is a huge continent, it does cover a very large percentage of this earth, and all of us want to do business in this continent. The global crisis in 2008 put a certain degree of focus on Africa. Many of our colleagues in Europe and America were saying that if they achieved single-digit decline, or if they managed to stay flat, they would drink to that. Now then you bring them to Africa and you find businesses that are recording 20% growth and the CEO gets fired. Others that are recording 50% growth in profits, not even in revenue. And they started paying more attention. I noticed their hands been shaken around the table. So one of the criteria, Robert said, those are doing very well. We can already see who they are. And the other thing that happened is that China, India, Brazil, who the rest of the world were looking to for growth, were also looking very much to Africa. And so as the Americans and the Europeans were following the Chinese, they went to China and found the Chinese had left for Africa. and therefore followed them through here. So the continent now has actually positioned itself with the greatest growth opportunities. And it's up to us, the people who are running businesses in this continent, to promote what I would call brand Africa. And brand Africa requires us to have high quality products and services. It requires us to have efficient, innovative and responsive systems and processes. It requires us to provide clients from any part of the world a client experience that they will celebrate for the rest of their lives. And above all, it requires us to return those very high returns for all our stakeholders. And KPMG is in that business of understanding this continent, of providing clarity to the complexity that many of us are facing, and helping you to reap the benefits of investing in this continent. I think I have exceeded the limits of my sit down to be appreciated. So I just want to welcome you to the starter. Today we are not going to be having too many speeches, and invite you to get to know the people who are around you, find out how you can collaborate with them, and more importantly, what one issue KPMG can assist you with. Please welcome to dinner, and thank you very much.
KPMG Africa is not new in the continent. We've been around for over 100 years, like some of you are clients. And unlike some of people from outside the country, outside the continent, and I believe some of the people in the continent as well who believe this continent of ours is one homogeneous continent. You know, when they talk about Africa, they see it as one. As KPMG, we don't see it like that. We've been around, as I say, over 100 years. We know that KPMG, until a few weeks ago, you know, it's a continent with 53 countries, and I believe now 54, am I right? And we know it's complex, It's got different regulatory environment, and therefore to say it's one, we don't believe it's true. But as KPMG, we recognize this for our clients. And that is why our brand promise to you, our client, is that we cut through complexity in this complex world to deliver clear solutions that you, our clients, value. Just to give you some stats, in Africa, we have over 5,700 professionals. We have over 350 partners in the continent. 2,700 of those professionals are audit, 1,700 of those are advisory, and over 600 of those are tax. So we are a professional firm that can come to you and give you clear solutions. KPMG, in the past, we've been operating as aligned practices throughout the continent with different cultures, religions, languages. Today, we have organized ourselves into clusters. We've got East Africa cluster here that service you. We've got a Central Africa cluster incorporating Malawi, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. We've got a West Africa cluster that service you incorporating Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and all those countries there, and the Southern Africa cluster. And we recognize that this is what our clients would like to see. The other important thing that is different from our other friends out there in KPMG is that we have a one KPMG Africa practice. What you see here is the KPMG Africa board. You also here have a KPMG Africa executive team. Globally, we say our vision is to build and sustain our reputation as the best firm to work with. By ensuring that you, our clients, our people that work for us, and our communities achieve their full potential. And how do we differentiate ourselves with this in the market? We say we are experts with a global mindset. We are forward-thinking. We are passionate about what we do. But as an important element, how do we deliver this to you, our client? We come with high-performing people cutting through complexity to deliver clear solutions with informed perspective that we know you, our clients, value. So how do we go to market? We have recognized KPMG globally that Africa is a continent whose time has come. There are vast opportunities in our continent, but there are also complexities that we need to inform our clients as to what those complexities are. We have over the previous 100 years, and actually more for the last 10 years, invested in high growth opportunities that we know are important in our continent. For example, we have invested in telco. In Africa, we have the strongest telecommunication practice center of excellence which can service our telecom companies. We have also invested, and I know we've got some of our financial services clients here, in a strong financial services, advisory, audit, and tax capabilities to service you. We also recognize that infrastructure is important in our continent to accelerate the growth and the revenues that we all need, and that is why we've also invested in an infrastructure and government practice. Why am I telling you this? Our client is that KPMG Africa, with a number of the professionals that I've shared with you in audit, tax, and advisory, can come to you with clear solutions that you need. You don't have to look at East Africa and say, oh no, they don't have the capacity. They do. We can bring those sector specialists wherever they are in the continent, together with our practices wherever they are, to service you. And this is a fundamental difference. We are not newcomers in the continent. We don't go around making speeches on TVs, on cameras. We understand the continent. We deliver that quality and those clear solutions for our clients. We have our values, which defined who we are, how we interact with you, our clients, how we interact with our people and our communities. And these are very, very fundamental and important to us, the KPMG values. Leading by examples, being open and honest in our communities, seeking the facts and providing insight. So as our client, you know that you're dealing with professionals who, above all, act with integrity. I'm very delighted and thankful that you, our client, took the time to come and meet the KPMG Africa board and the KPMG Africa executive team in East Africa. And our colleagues in East Africa gave us some few lessons about what the animals do. Is it the Maasai? I always get it wrong. What is it? The wildebeest. You see, as part of attracting us to come here, Josephat took us to the game reserve to watch the migration. And he said, there's a lesson that you guys are going to learn there about strategy. Learn from the animals. You see, the animals have recognized that the grass is no longer greener this side. It's actually not even there. And they are going to take risk to cross the river. Some of them are caught by the crocodiles. Some of them just break their legs as they cross. But there's one thing that they understand through all that travel, that the grass is greener on the other side. So Josephat brought us here to learn that. And I think the lovely country you have here, we've enjoyed Nairobi. And I said, I come from South Africa, and my colleagues from South Africa, especially the white colleagues, when they get out of Johannesburg, going anywhere else in Africa, say, oh, we are going to Africa. So guys, welcome to Africa. Thank you very much. And on that note, I would invite the Chief Executive of KPMG Europe, Middle East, and India to share a few words with you from the KPMG world perspective. John Paul Thiel.
Good evening to all of you. I can read it on your faces, not another dinner speech, please. So in French, we have a saying, les blagues les plus courtes sont les meilleures, which means that the shortest jokes are the best, so I will try and keep it sweet and short. And to demonstrate that I don't have notes, I just hold my glass. Just a few impressions. I cover 108 countries, and just 54 of those are in Africa. So Africa is like half of my patch. It's 54 now. It used to be 53. We have South Sudan, so it's 54. It's a lot of countries, lots of different countries, as Moses said. And what strikes me about Africa is the natural resources. And thereby I do not mean oil and gas, minerals, etc., but people. 1 billion people in Africa today, and 2 billion by 2050. And a lot of these people show a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of initiative. They are very good at business, at seizing opportunities, and that's very impressive. By the way, one of the things that really impresses me, and I think is ahead of where I come from in France, is the M-Pesa scheme. The Kenyans here will understand what it means. So yes, we have a lot of opportunities, financial services, infrastructure, oil and gas, mining, telecoms, consumer products. But we wouldn't be what we are without our people. I think we have a fantastic set of people. We are a people company. We're only as good as our people. And I can say sincerely that I'm very proud Moses of the quality of people we have. I know a lot of our partners in Kenya, East Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, and everywhere in between. And without great people, we wouldn't have great clients. Because I think we really have a set of great clients who have shown friendship in coming here, taking time out of their busy diaries. And so, to keep the speech short, I would just like to raise my glass and say Asante. Thank you.